Volunteer leadership, it's one of the best personal and professional gifts you can give yourself. It's the opportunity to get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, learn new skills, and share your passion with an industry with some of your fellow peers. Hi, my name is Holly Duckworth, CMP, CAE, and I am proud to be the Oregon Chapter President for the National Speakers Association. I am also an expert in association leadership. I teach organizations how to be more efficient and more effective with their volunteer boards of directors. So it's been a privilege this year to bring some of my expertise to my peers at the NSA Oregon chapter. And I've had the honor of working with Karen Emery, your chapter business manager, to help her build a tool that's a template. This is an example of the business plan that I use that might help you be more efficient, effective, and have a little bit more fun as a chapter leader this year. So I'd like to take the next few moments to share with you this tool. Again, it's a suggested business plan. It's a business plan that we use in Oregon and that I've been helping chapters with to start to wrap their arms around this thing called chapter leadership. There's a lot of different elements, but I know with a few simple tools, you'll be able to write some effective goals that will make your chapter the best in NSA. All great strategic planning starts with a keen sense of the vision and mission of your organization. And as a chapter of NSA, it's really key that we start to think about ourselves in alignment with the NSA vision and mission. So I'd like to share that with you right now. The mission of NSA is the leading source for community, for education, and entrepreneurial business knowledge that is needed to be successful in the speaking profession. If we keep that mission in mind as we make decisions at our chapter, we have the opportunity to be in better alignment with NSA, to have a little bit more fun and make decisions that help us to get to that mission a little faster. I'm always inspired by the vision of NSA as well. That vision is that every expert who uses the spoken word to present content to an audience for a fee is a member of NSA. That vision, be it big, gives us the opportunity as chapter leaders to truly reach out to a variety of people in our community and bring them into the NSA family. The diversity of our membership is what makes us strong as an NSA community. This strategic plan that I'm about to show you is 4 pages. We've designed it to be a simple, effective tool that will not be overwhelming to you, to your chapter members, or to your chapter leaders. It goes over several aspects of the NSA experience. And that first page is goal number 1. Goal number 1 is the area of education. It is the primary reason most members join NSA. We break those goals down into 2 areas. Goal number 1 is the monthly education programs that you offer to your chapter. You'll see on the strategic planning template in front of you an example of this. And on that example, there is a goal area. It's a gray box. And that gray box is where you have the opportunity to work with your team of chapter leaders and create a specific measurable goal in the area of education programs. An example for the NSA chapter in Oregon, our goal in that gray box is to provide 9 monthly education programs for our members that match the 4 pillars of NSA. That allows us to be more strategic when we pick speakers to come to our chapter. Below that gray box, you'll see some sub-columns. Those sub-columns are named objectives, position, revenue, expense, and the completion date. We utilize this to break down those goals into smaller bits. So for us, an objective might be for each and every monthly meeting. We will provide a meeting in September on contract negotiations that will have 25 participants. That's an example of our objective. In the next column, position, we assign that to our Vice President of Education. Perhaps in your chapter, it's also a Director of Education. Who's going to be in charge of making that program happen? Put their name in that box. The next 2 boxes are revenue and expenses. Each and every program that we do at NSA, there's outlay of cash, either in terms of speakers or venues or travel, and there's also revenue that comes in by the tickets that your members purchase. You want to start budgeting those things and move your budget over to your strategic business planning template, and those go in the boxes you'll see on the sheet in front of you. Next is the completion date. Each and every program has a completion date so that we can mark the success. In volunteerism, one key tip is to have a success every 30 to 90 days so that your board is continuously engaged and excited about the things that they get to do. So for us, on that September meeting, the completion date would have been September 30th, giving us the opportunity to have our program. Our programs are the 2nd week of the month, and then give us a chance to wrap up all the finances and complete that by September 30th. So that's an example of how you might set some goals in your monthly education programs. The next goal is in the area of Speaker Academy. Now I recognize not every chapter has a Speaker Academy, but if this is an area that you do have at your chapter, why don't you sit down with your team, your board, and write one specific goal of how you're going to make that the best Speaker Academy every year. So for us, our Speaker Academy goal this year was the NSA Oregon chapter will have 25 active participants in our Speaker Academy for the 2012-2013 year. That was the goal we put in our gray box. And then below that, each and every one, we had little objectives. What are the smaller goals that will tie up to the goal around the Speaker Academy? Again, we align that with a specific person. In this case, we have a board liaison over our Speaker Academy. We have a revenue and expense line item. Our Speaker Academy is $1,500, and so we would put $1,500 in there times the 25 participants, and then we would also add up all of the expenses for the venues, for all of the speakers, all the speaker gifts, and put that in on the expense line, giving us a sense of, are we going to break even on this program, or is it going to cost us a little this year? And then lastly, the completion date. Our Speaker Academy goes all year long, so our completion date on that will be June 30th. But we will always be reviewing that goal at each and every monthly meeting. Goal number 3 is a membership recruitment and retention. So often we just think membership just happens naturally in NSA. People just come to us, they sign up, and we get their applications, or they might come to us through the national office. But now is the opportunity to be more effective and think about who is it that we want? How large do we think our chapter could be? In the case of Oregon, we have 66 members that are dues-paying members to national, but we have a fewer than that involved in Oregon. So our goal in this area is to increase the number of national dues-paying members also paying at the local level, and it's our hope that we're able to increase that by 20%. You might think of a goal in your chapter. Maybe for your chapter, our goal is to go from 35 to 40 members, but that goal goes in goal number 3 box and all of your strategic objectives under that. 2 examples of an objective under membership might be under the membership recruitment area as well as the membership retention area. And that's 2 ways to make your membership vibrant and active in the coming year. Goal number 4 is that of leadership. This is one of the newest areas that NSA added to your strategic business plan, and I think it's a very key driver in the health of any organization. Organizations need vibrant leaders that are always excited to come in and into the board. And oftentimes, that's also the hardest thing to do because you're excited about NSA and you know that you're never going to leave. But then you might get that great job and you move across country and you've now left a seat vacant in your NSA chapter. The best thing you can do as a leader is leave a legacy of leadership behind you. So all of the groups that I work with, I say on day 1, when you take that position as the treasurer or the VP of membership, your first job is to recruit not 1, but 2 volunteers and start training them so that they might take your seat on the board in future years as you continue to grow in leadership. So goal number 4 is this area of leadership development for your chapter or for your board. What's one goal you'll do to create better leaders? In the case of Oregon, our goal this year was to offer one 1-hour session on board leadership, what it means to be an effective board member, and we're going to offer that in our goal number 4 for leadership. Goal number 5 is communications via the web. Often NSA chapters, we're so busy running our own businesses, we don't have time to think about the web and the internet and the social media for our chapters. But yet those are key drivers to bring in young and new members into your chapter. That's where they are, and that's where they want to learn about their NSA experience. So think about how you can access the technology via the web and write a goal for that for your chapter in your year as president. Now, you don't have to be on every platform all the time. Perhaps as a chapter leader, you just pick one tool this year and say, our chapter is going to dive deeper into this. We're going to experiment with Twitter. We're going to look at LinkedIn. In the case of the NSA Oregon chapter, our goal for technology on the web was Facebook. We decided that we would start a Facebook page, that our goal was to have 50 participants on the page, and that we would post at least 10 times each month. That's the goal that we wrote in that gray box. Then underneath that, in the objectives area, we talk about how we're going to get that done. What are those 10 posts? How are we going to create a campaign that will bring more people to like our page? That position goes to our VP of Communications, or perhaps your Director of Communications. Their name goes in the position box. And then if you're allocating funds or financial resources, that goes in there, as well as your goal for completing, your completion date for that goal. Goal number 6 is marketing. Again, as professional speakers, we know marketing is the key to getting those people in our audiences. That same thing is true in your NSA programs. But are you taking the time to slow down and market those programs each and every month? You want to sit down here and write a marketing goal for your chapter. In the case of Oregon, our goal this year was to add more press releases. We wanted to get our word out in the local newspaper and print media. So we went to those experts in our chapter who were PR experts and said, will you help our communications team this year? We have 9 programs, so it was our goal that we would send out 7 press releases. And those press releases would go to at least 20 media outlets in the Portland metro community. That's what we put in the gray box. Then underneath in the objectives area, we put the recruitment of those PR experts. We put getting the address of those PR experts, of the media experts, as well as all the timelines it was going to take to get our programs out there. That position fell under the VP of Communications. The revenue and expenses were there, and that is an ongoing rolling completion date. Goal number 7, finances. Oh, I can hear the ugh in that room right now. Nobody wants to deal with chapter finances, but they are absolutely the lifeblood of your chapter as a business, just as it is the viability and the financial responsibility of you as a speaker entrepreneur. So in this area, I really encourage you this year, take the time to get to the truth of your finances. Know how much you have in your checking account. Know what you have in your savings account. How much is the reserves in your chapter? Do you have enough money if your chapter made no income for a year that you could continue to operate as a viable chapter business? So in this area, you would write a goal around your financial position. For some chapters, that might be simply for the 2012-2013 fiscal year, our chapter makes a commitment to break even. In other chapters, it might be that you make a goal to raise $3,000. There's no right or wrong in this, but the key to utilizing this overall strategic planning tool is you get clear about where you are with the things you're going to do and with your finances. And then in the financial area, break down how are you going to make that money? Are those going to come from monthly programs? Does that come from a special gala or fundraising event? Be sure to put that there and who's going to be responsible for that. In the case of the Oregon chapter, many of our financial endeavors do fall to either the education person or our treasurer, and you put your treasurer's name in there, as well as the revenue, the expense, and the completion date. As I said, chapter leadership is a huge honor. It's a great opportunity to get known in the community, to work with new folks, and to learn a little bit about how to be a better leader. So I hope that you'll look at this optional business plan tool that NSA has provided for you, really highlighting the 7 key areas of being an effective business. And if I can help you or your chapter in any way, don't hesitate to call me or email me. I am available at hollyduckworth.com. Enjoy your NSA Chapter Leadership Institute and have a fun year as a volunteer for NSA.